Hey, good morning, everyone. We're going to get started here in about a minute. I just wanted to let everyone know that, I try to keep these webinars pretty quick and to the point. Certainly, I'll be going through quite a few examples of our services and how we do things, and sometimes this stuff can be complicated. So certainly, we'll send everyone an email after the presentation with a little bit more information that kind of gives you, obviously more information. But more importantly, if you do like what you hear today, I would be happy to talk to anyone privately just to kind of review your situation, what your product focus is, and just kind of try to figure out if my services are going to be a good fit. And there's never any cost. So that being said, what we're going to do is we are going to start the presentation. If you do have any questions, the best thing to do would be to type them into the GoToMeeting toolbar, and I might not answer them immediately, but I promise I will get to them at the bare minimum at the end of the presentation. So let me start off and just kind of myself and my entire staff. Our background is specifically in the insurance industry. I myself am a bit of a child of the insurance industry. My grandfather was in it, my father was in it, and somewhere in the late 90s I got in it. And back then we used to own a company that was very much like Western Marketing. We were wholesalers of Medicare, employee benefits, individual health. And somewhere in the late 90s, my dad kind of came to me and said, look, you need to help us figure out ways to get more producers to put business through us. So I started to build a few websites specifically to generate leads. And I would call up producers who weren't putting business through us, and I'd say, hey, here's a few leads. All I ask is if you sell any of them, that you put them through us. We're a family-owned business. We can give you better service, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, my point is back then is when I started to build websites, and I started to get very good at it. And as time went on, we kind of started to develop a department within the company that did that for some of our top producers. And to make a very long story short, healthcare reform kind of came on the horizon back in 2008, 2009. And my father was getting to a point where he was going to retire and he wanted to go play golf for a living. So we ended up selling that business and we got totally out of it. And myself and a few of my, team members who were building websites, we started Snoozy in 2009. And basically, all we do is work with independent agents, helping them with websites and social media. So if you take anything away from today's presentation, I want you to understand that I only work with independent agents. If you refer me a lawyer or a florist or someone else, I'm not building them a website. I only work with independent agents, and this has allowed us and allowed me to really understand compliance, both from the carrier side of things as well as from the CMS side of things. So what we're going to do today is we are going to review our custom website design services as well as our social media posting services. I will go through a few live samples. I'll try to give you insight on how we help different clients. But like I said before, if you're interested with anything I say, I would be happy to schedule a quick chat either later today or this week and kind of review your situation and figure out if I can help. The one thing I didn't mention is, quite a few months ago, Brandon at Western Marketing, obviously he came to me and we decided to create kind of an alliance where our services are now being promoted to Western Marketing brokers. And I don't know if everyone has had a chance to go to the little website, westernmarketing.snoozy.net. But if you go there, you will see that as an active Western Marketing producer, there is discount pricing available to you, and certainly we honor all of that. So I'll talk about that a little bit more as we move forward, but I think it's important to understand that there is an agreement between the two companies, and certainly I'm here to help any Western Marketing brokers, hopefully grow their business. So that being said, like I said before, I work specifically with independent agents, certainly small agencies. I would say 60% of my clients tend to be, life and health producers, whether it's Medicare, employee benefits, individual medical, standard life insurance, annuities. The other 40% is P&C clients, whether it's auto, home, and commercial, So anyway, my point is we work with all types of independent agents. It doesn't have to just be Medicare. And certainly when we build you a website, we custom build them, and we can put whatever products you sell, on the site. So step one is let's talk about the custom website design services I offer. And the number one question I always get from everybody is, well, how much does it cost? How much do I have to pay you up front to build me a new website? And what I try to explain is we have a little bit of a different model. The answer is you don't pay anything up front. But I think the best way to understand it is, obviously, number one, sit through today's presentation, absorb as much as you can. Then go to westernmarketing.snoozy.net. Go in there. There's some videos. There's some samples. I have very specific verbiage on what's included. Review that. If you like what you see when you're on this site, click on the I'm interested next step button. And what that'll do is it'll take you to a form. You fill out the form, put your name, phone number, email in. It'll send me a message, and then I will reach out to you, and we'll schedule what I would call a 10-minute free consultation just to kind of review your situation. Once we do so anyway, step one is for me and you to talk. I want to make sure I can help you. It takes us about 30 hours to build out these websites. We don't do it for fun. We want to do it because there's some synergy and there's a game plan in place. So that's the first step. You and I will talk for a few minutes. I will try to give you as many ideas as I can on how I'm going to help you. If we both agree that it's going to work, you will then sign up for the free trial, right? So there's no upfront cost. You sign up for a free trial. Then you and I will set up a 30-minute phone interview where we're going to talk insurance. We are going to go through your style, what you focus on product-wise. I want to understand how you do things with customer service because in my opinion, in 2020, we need to build you a website that is more than just a billboard that says, I'm Bob's Insurance and I sell Medicare and life insurance. It's got to have functionality built into it that you can use with people. The more functionality you have in the site, the more you use it, the more referrals you're going to get and the better your retention is going to be. So it all starts with setting up a 30-minute interview. Once we do that interview, then it's my job to do everything. It's going to take me about a week. I will build out a brand new site. I'll come up with all the content. I'll come up with all the pictures. Obviously, if you have some interesting things that you want to add to the site, we'll figure out how to do it to make it work. But it'll take us a week, and then we will email you a first draft of the new site. Together, we can go through it, and we can change anything you possibly want to change, assuming it doesn't affect compliance, right? Because, again, I'm very proactive with compliance. The carriers, United, Humana, et cetera, they all now have website design guidelines. And these are things we have to follow and take very seriously. And I take them very seriously. I'm not expecting you to know anything when it comes to compliance, but I will be proactive and guide you in the right direction. So anyway, we'll set up an interview. It takes me about a week to build the site out. And then we can either use a web address that you have, or if you don't have a web address, I will help you pick one out, and we will certainly get it set up on whatever address you want. So let's just kind of theoretically say you signed up today. Today is March 4th. That means on April 4th, you will pay your first $59.99. And that becomes your cost, because obviously that's the number two question I get. Well, what is my cost? How much is this going to cost me now and moving forward? On March 4th, you sign up. It doesn't cost you anything. If you like the product we design, the website we design, your monthly cost will then be $59.99. I try to keep it very simple. It includes everything I do. There is no nickel and diming. It's a month-by-month contract that you can cancel at any time. Again, I try to keep it simple. And basically, the $59.99 includes building the new site from scratch. But more importantly, I hope you use this site on a weekly basis. And if you're going to use the site, you're going to need to fine-tune it. You're going to need to add things, and you're going to need to make changes. Changes are completely free. They're included. You come to us. We usually make them within 1 to 4 hours of the same day. So that's included. Of course, we'll host the site. We'll do all the basic search engine optimization. Your site will be what's called HTTPS secure, which is a requirement now. The site will also be mobile responsive, so it'll work well on a smartphone. It'll work well on a laptop or on an iPad. But more importantly, like I said before, when we do the interview, we need to figure out how to build more than just a billboard or an encyclopedia of products. I don't want that. I want to build a site that you can use. So what I'm going to do right now is just kind of show you a sample or two of some sites that we've built and give you some thought processes. So this is the site we just designed for pretty much a Medicare specialist. And, you know, one of the first things when I was doing the interview with Jane was, you know, we were kind of talking about what things are very time consuming for you. And the first thing she mentioned was getting the consumer's drug information. So, you know, I'd kind of say, well, you know, how you getting it? Well, I'm writing it down or whatever. So I said, why don't we create a customized form on the website where people can come, submit their drug name, dosage, times a day they take it, maybe list who their doctors are or what their specialty is, and we can get their pharmacy info. So I guess what I'm saying is functionality, right? Do we have ways we can use the site, get people on the site to maybe cross-sell them the other things we do, the final expense, the hospital indemnity. So this is one example of some functionality I've built in, a customized questionnaire to get their drug information. The next thing me and Jane talked about was, you know, what else is time consuming in your day to day? And she talked about dental insurance. Obviously, dental insurance is very time consuming, especially if she's selling a Medicare supplement. You know, someone's going to probably need a standalone dental plan or at least ask about it. So my suggestion is look, if people are coming to you and you kind of get the feeling that they're probably not going to buy dental insurance, but they're asking you, hey, do you do dental insurance? Obviously, you don't want to tell them no, but you don't want to be talking to them for 45 minutes about it as well. So what we did for her is she uses Emeritus. It's one of her dental carriers, and Emeritus offers you your own online portal. So my suggestion was, let's build a little shop online page into the site where if someone asks you about dental, you send them over to KleinSeniorInsurance.com, have them click on Shop for Insurance, and tell them to click on Get a Quote under Emeritus. And this will take them into her Emeritus portal where they can put their zip code in, you know, choose the product they need, and basically see pricing and get familiar with the product. And, you know, I suggested that she just tells the client, okay, if you're interested in that, go check it out. And if you like what you see, call me back and I'll help you pick out a specific plan. And at least if you do that, you filter out all the time wasters. You know, the same can be said with travel insurance. There's a lot of, especially baby boomers, they're going on cruises, they're maybe leaving the country. They might have a question. Should I get a travel insurance plan? Obviously, the coronavirus is out there. What should I do? You know, you shouldn't be talking an hour about travel insurance because you're going to get a $35 commission. Send them to the site, have them go into IMG or whatever you use. Anyway, I don't mean to ramble on, but again, I think these are key principles with a strategy on the website. We want to figure out things that are part of your day-to-day that maybe a website can make more efficient, excuses to get people on the site. So that's kind of an example of what we did for her. And my point is all these things are included. There's no extra cost. You'll see on the list here, I said we can create customized fillable forms. So maybe it's an RX drug form. Maybe it's a life insurance questionnaire. We can set up an insurance store where people can go quote and buy products. Obviously, a lot of the insurance carriers now offer online enrollment for their products, whether it's dental insurance, travel insurance, short-term health insurance. I was talking to Brandon the other day, and he told me that Western Marketing has some alliances with quoting portals for Medicare SUPs, those types of things you can build into your site. Not a problem. No extra cost. That's what I'm here to help you with. So all those things can be built in, and they're included. We will also get you set up with your own social media business presence. In 2020, it is important to have a Facebook business page. It is important to have a good LinkedIn page that tells people who you are and how you can help them. I will help you get all that set up. It's included in the website package. And then the number one thing my current clients give me really good feedback on is each week I do kind of like a little podcast, a little 10-minute webinar like this, but much shorter, where I try to train my clients on how to do specific things on social media. Last week we did a little webinar about setting up ads on Facebook to try to target people turning 65. The week before I was talking about using LinkedIn and how to connect with people that could get you referrals. that kind of stuff is included. So I see some questions coming in. What I want to do right now is transition and talk about the social media posting services. Then I'll kind of address all the questions at the end, and then certainly send everyone more info. So again, for those of you that came on late, I started this business in 2009. And back in 2009, I really focused on just building websites. But back then, social media was growing, and I did the weekly social media trainings. I've been doing that now for 11 years, and I'm pretty proud of that. But anyway, when I would do these webinars, what would start to happen is my clients would call up and they'd say, look, I was on your webinar this week about using Facebook to increase retention, to drip on my clients, or I was on your webinar about using LinkedIn to generate referrals. I get it. Yeah, I got to be more active with social media. The problem is it's just me. I'm an independent agent. I'm on the road all the time. I don't have the time, especially in the fall during open enrollment. It's just so crazy. Is there any way you can do this stuff for me? Can you help me with my social media services? So for about a year, I said, no, you should be doing this stuff. It's too important. But then I started to realize that my clients, that they really wanted help, but they just were never going to do it themselves. It was strictly a, amount of time available thing. So in 2011, I came out with a second service called social media management. And it's really meant to be very simple. And it's meant to really help the independent agent who gets it. They get the importance of social media. They just don't have the time every day to do it themselves. So now let me also mention that this service, it can be a standalone service. So if you already have a website that you love and it's working for you, you don't need to come to me for a website. You can just come to me for social media. But I do suggest that if you come to me for social media, that you do have a website, because the whole point of social media is to drive people to your site. So anyway, step one is kind of similar to the website. We'll set up a quick little 10-minute interview, and we're going to talk about your products. I want to understand what I have to post. And the stuff I'm going to post is going to be relevant to what your focus is. So for this example, let's say your focus is Medicare and employee benefits. So we'll figure that out. Step two is I need to make sure that you have a Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter business page. So I will either build those pages for you, or if you already have them, I'll get access and I'll clean up what you have and make them look perfect. And then what I'm going to do is Monday through Friday, I am going to do the posting for you. So I'm actually going to find content and post it. The number one question I always get is, well, what do you post? Do you solicit people? What's your strategy? And my strategy is to educate people, to project you as the expert in the products that you sell. I have learned over the last 15 years that if you try to just solicit, especially on social media, people tune you out real quick. So that's the opposite of what I want to do. So from a content posting standpoint, I like to post educational articles, little tips, updates on changes to the products. Now, from a compliance standpoint, we can't talk about specific carriers. We can't talk about pricing, but we can project you to be the expert in Medicare or employee benefit compliance or life insurance or whatever you sell. Occasionally on a Friday afternoon, I might do an inspirational quote. So here's a quick example of someone I've been posting for. And, here was just kind of a quick article, about Medicare Advantage and things you might still have to pay for once you're enrolled in that. Here was an interesting article. I found this pretty interesting about some changes the ambulances and hospitals are making for Medicare patients and taking them to emergency centers instead of the hospital. Here was a post from last Friday that was just kind of an inspirational quote with kind of a relaxing picture. Here was another article, geared towards baby boomers and basically telling them, okay, you're turning 65, these are the things you need to do. So that's the type of stuff we post. Again, that example was specifically more senior market, but obviously if you sell other products like employee benefits or under 65 health or auto and home or commercial, we can accommodate and find specific content for obviously those products as well. But so again, just to kind of review, the social media services, it includes Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. It includes setting you up with the pages, and it includes us posting the content to those pages for you Monday through Friday. Most common question, how much are you posting to each one? Think of it like this. On Monday, we will get a post, and we will post it on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter on Monday. On Tuesday, we'll get another post. We'll post it to Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter on Tuesday. So that's kind of how it works and how much we post. The pricing on this service is usually $65 bucks a month. As a Western marketing broker, you obviously get a discount. It's $59.99. So let me kind of just review everything, and then I'll start to take some of the questions that have come in. So basically, we do two things. We build websites. The website, again, $59.99 a month. If you signed up today, you would pay nothing, and then you'd pay your first $59.99 on April 4th. The social media service, again, can be a standalone. It's $59.99 a month as well. If you bundle both of those together, obviously you can save $20 a month, and it's available to you at $99.99 a month. So what I suggest is if you get a chance and you are interested, go to the Western Marketing kind of little microsite, westernmarketing.snoozy.net. And, if you go on there, you're going to find that I have, some pretty good overviews on the pricing, on the services. There's some videos. It goes through what's included. I have samples of websites and social media posts. But what I suggest is if you're interested, click on the I'm interested button and just fill out this form. It takes about 10 seconds. And what it's going to do is it's going to email me your email and your phone number. And I will reach out to you probably by email, and we will set up kind of a quick little free consultation. The number one thing that I say very strongly, I am very, very blunt. And, so basically what I'm telling you is if I can help you, I'll tell you with all the energy I have what my game plan is. And if we both agree, great, we'll get you signed up. But if I don't think I can help you, make no mistake, I'm going to tell you that as well. And I will try to point you in the right direction. But my point is that, we put a lot of kind of blood, sweat, and tears into our work. It takes us 25 to 30 hours to build out these sites. I don't do that for fun, right? I do it because I hope I can help you for 10 years and be your website guy for a very long time. I'm very much like you. I need retention. I need referrals to survive. I'm not going to build this site and then after a month you go, gosh, I was hoping after a month I would be number one on Google for Nebraska Medicare, and I haven't gotten that. I'm out of here. Forget it. I don't want those situations. I want to help guys who get it. It's 2020. You need to have a good website. You need to have a good social media presence. You need to be compliant. I try to bring all that to the table, and I also try to bring kind of that honest, blunt, I'm not a yes man kind of attitude. So anyway, my point is we'll talk, and if I can help you, we'll go from there. So, all right, let me answer some of these questions, and then what I'm going to do is send everyone some more information after the webinar, and we'll go from there. All right, first question here is from Karen. Karen's asking, Ken, I currently have a website through GoDaddy, and I have a web address and email address there. If I use your services, can I keep everything the same? I don't want to have to get new email addresses. Very good question, Karen. The answer is, of course, you can keep everything the same. Basically, what we're going to do is we're going to build out a new website for you on our address. Think of it as the rough draft. I will send it over to you. We can go through it together. And once it looks the way you want, then we'll go into GoDaddy and we will change what are called the hosting records. Your old website will turn off. Your new website will turn on. And you can keep obviously you keep the same web address and your email addresses will stay status quo. Of course, you'll keep all that the same and there'll be no downtime. So hopefully that answers your question. Question here from Tim. Tim's asking, Ken, if you guys do the posting for us on social media, how does that work? Do I still own my pages? Can I still go on there and post myself if I have time? I don't really want to lose control. Excellent question, Tim. All right, so basically we'll use Facebook as an example. With Facebook, you already have a page. Obviously, you're the page owner of it. All that's going to stay status quo. You are going to go on to Facebook, and of course, we're going to help you, and you're going to make us what's called a content editor. That way, we can log in with our logins and go post on your page. But you're going to remain the page owner, okay? You're not losing any control. If leads and messages come in, it'll be your responsibility to handle those. If you want to go post yourself, of course, go on and post yourself. It doesn't affect anything we're doing, and certainly there's no problem with that. Another question from Tim. Tim's asking, Ken, I currently do a monthly newsletter. I would love to get that on Facebook and LinkedIn, but I haven't figured out how to do it myself. Is there any extra cost if I send you the newsletter and you post it for us? Good question. So obviously Monday through Friday, we'll find content and post it. But if you ever want us to post things for you, I have a lot of clients who do events and they want to get the event posted, obviously a newsletter, stuff like that. Sure, just email it to us and we will post it for you. There's no additional cost. It's not a problem. Question here from Sarah. Sarah's asking, Ken, I currently use a company called Health Sherpa for my under 65 health. If I use your services, will I be able to incorporate that portal into the website? Absolutely. Yeah. Again, we kind of went through that one example on Jane's website where she had her dental and travel insurance kind of on a shop page. If you use Health Sherpa or if you use some sort of, obviously the guys, like I said, at Western Marketing, they have some pretty good quoting portals. Whatever you use, we can easily incorporate it into your website. So it doesn't matter what it is. I always kind of say, think of it as kind of third-party technology. These are things that when we do the interview, we'll talk through. And I always kind of say it's kind of like dumping all the puzzle pieces onto the table. I'll go through all those pieces with you, and we'll figure out where to put them and if they make sense and if they're going to help the overall strategy. But certainly if you have things like that, I'm sure we can accommodate them and make it work. I also have a few clients who will use like scheduling software. I don't know if anyone uses Calendly. I can never say it. There's quite a few of these scheduling softwares where people can click, see your schedule and schedule an appointment. We can easily build that into the site. I also have quite a few clients who do like educational events, especially as we get closer to open enrollment. We can certainly set up an events page and have the schedule and let people register. All that can be accommodated. We just have to kind of figure out if it makes sense. So that seems to be all the questions that have come in. I am going to send everyone, again, an email with more information. Give me about an hour. I appreciate everyone coming on. And like I said, I'd be happy to talk to anybody and just kind of figure out if I can help you or not. So thanks again, and I'll talk to everyone soon. Have a great day. Bye-bye.